Hey everybody, welcome back to Nicsminibikes. If you haven't yet, hit that link in the description. Go check out our merchandise. We got hats, shirts, hoodies, all kinds of cool stuff. Go get you something. So today we got something a little different here. We got all the small frame mini bikes that are out there right now. All your main ones. I'm missing a Motovox and I'm missing maybe a little Rascal if you want to count that one. But we got the Hoverheart MB001. We got an FRP. What is it? An MB100, MRB100. Something like that. We got the Coleman CT100U. This one here is a Monster Moto MM1000, and it's the electric version of the MM80, MM105. Same exact frame, just one is electric, one's gas. And then there on the end, we have a Coleman B100. It's missing quite a bit, but we'll throw forks and front and rear tire on it when we get to it to look at it. So obviously we can't ride those and check them out, so we're not going to ride those and check them out. And the motor on the FRP is modified and switched to a Predator 212. The motor on this one is modified and switched to a 196 out of a Coleman B200 RSV. So when we talk about these bikes, we'll talk about them as they would be stock. So just know that. We'll talk about the motors, the top speeds, stock, tires, seat height, thickness of bars, how big the bars are, stuff like that. So that's enough of that. Let's jump on in and we'll start down there with the Hoverheart. All right, so I'm going to cheat a little bit, and I got iPad out. I pulled up the specs on the bike. That way I can make sure I get them right. And this is off of Hoverheart's link on Amazon to get this bike. The link will be in the description. So it says that it's a 99cc four-stroke engine. It's got a 0.31 gallon gas tank on it for a 25-mile range, and it'll do 34.5 kilometers per hour top speed. Conversion will be right here. It says it has a durable steel frame and it'll support up to a 200-pound rider. One thing that we'll notice across all these bikes is they're all 7/8 tubing. This one uses 1-inch tubing. I don't know how thick the wall is on it, but it definitely looks more beefy. And like all of these, it's got the rear disc brake, and this one actually comes with knobby tires. I don't know if you can see that, but those are the stock tires for this bike. Everything else here I believe is going to come with V-tread tires, and if you've been around a while, you know nobody likes V-tread tires. Don't know why they're even a thing still. The Hoverheart also, it's gone. Ben must have took it for his mountain bike, but this bike does come with an LED light bar that's rechargeable, and Ben must have that thing, guy. And it says that this bike weighs 75 pounds. Does it actually? I don't know, maybe. And that's really all it says about that. One thing it doesn't mention in here is this one comes with a spring-loaded chain tensioner on the clutch side of the engine, and I really like that. So let's just get a couple measurements here. I'm not too worried about accuracy, just want an idea. We're going to check the wheelbase and the seat height. And to do that, I'm just going to hook onto that bolt in the front to get an idea here. We're looking at about 37.5 inches for a wheelbase on the Hoverhearts. Then we'll just kind of go to the lowest point of the seat. We're looking at about 26 inches seat height on the Hoverheart. So that's the Hoverheart. And this bike is going for $299.99 on Amazon right now, which is a pretty good deal, I think. Now we'll move on to the FRP. So same thing as the Hoverheart, I'm on Amazon looking at an FRP bike, and we'll just read you some of the stats on there. It says this one also comes with a 99cc four-stroke engine. It says it provides stronger power than a two-stroke. Yeah, maybe. No need to mix the gas. It says stock that this bike will go 28 miles per hour, and it can support up to a 220-pound rider. Its stock gas tank size was 0.36 gallons, and it says that it'll do 30 miles on that. It says that it has an efficient chain tensioner, and this bike, along with the other three here, they use the wheel that slides on a bracket, and you never have enough adjustment on those. At least that's what it seems like. They move side to side, and you just never have enough adjustment on those. It says it has rear disc brake, which we can see that it does. It says that it weighs 79.5 pounds. And that's really all it says as far as like specs go. It doesn't say anything about the tires, but all the pictures of this are V-tread tires. The frame tubing on this is 7/8. What's the actual wall thickness? Couldn't tell you. We'll just get a wheelbase here. looking like 37 and a half. The lowest point of the seat, about right here, probably about 25 inches. Tires, and this bike is going to run about $359.99, and there'll be a link for it down in the description. So now we're going to move on to the Coleman CT100U. This bike was a little harder to find information on because if they're not discontinued, they're probably getting really close. So I found it on campingworld.com. This bike's going to run you about 500 bucks, $499.99. Just some of the same specs we went over with the other bikes. 7/8 tubing to make the frame. In its stock form with the stock engine, this bike's going to weigh 82 pounds. It's got a weight capacity of 150 pounds, 6 inches of ground clearance. The fuel tank capacity is 0.95 gallons, which is pretty good. It doesn't give a range, and it says the original displacement was 98 cc's. It does come stock with rear disc brakes. This one's been switched to rear hydraulic brakes, but it would have been pretty much the same as that one on the FRP and the hover hearts. And this also would come stock with your V-tread tires. Why? Whatever. It is stretched about 3 inches. So, and I don't know if the suspension forks are longer. That'll make a difference too. So we're going to call that 38 and a half minus 3, 35 and a half. For seat height, we're going to call it 27 minus 2, 25 inches for seat height. So next we're on to the MM1000. We're just going to call it an MM80 because it's the exact same in this scenario, minus the stickers. So the MM80, you can get it from Go Power Sports. They didn't really have much details on it, so I found it on Walmart.com, but they're out of stock, but they have more detail. So the link to this bike will be to Go Power Sports if you're interested. It says that it originally would come with an 80cc engine. It says that it'll do a maximum speed of 23 miles per hour with a runtime of 45 to 60 minutes. It says it comes with rugged off-road tires, also known as V-tread tires. Awful. It says it weighs 78 pounds, and that's about it. It comes with the 7/8 tubing again, the wheel to slide adjust the chain, and that's pretty well it for that. Nothing really special there. And this 35 and a quarter for wheelbase. We're at about 23 and a half for the lowest point on the seat. And this MM80 from Go Power Sports is going to run you about 650 bucks. Now, if you give me a second, I'll transform this B100 frame into a roller so we can kind of get a closer side by side of what these look like. I got Benny Boy back here behind the scenes, taking some parts off the MM80. They should bolt straight onto the B200 so we can see what it looks like on two wheels. All right, so we stole some parts off the MM80 to make the B100 a roller. We chose the MM80 because that's the same style front end that all the pictures show on this bike. So we'll just do the same thing here. Hook that front axle, come to the back axle. We got 36 inches. The lowest point of the seat on this bike is 23 inches. So I'm told, and I haven't tried myself, the biggest downfall of this bike is getting a 212 to fit inside the frame. You got about 15 and a half inches there and maybe about 14 in the back, and they all really measure about the same from the plate to the top bar. Maybe it's just this bar sweeping up here that makes it a problem. Couldn't tell you. Haven't tried to do it myself. So I completely forgot to even talk about the B100 mini bike. So this is Coleman's website. I pulled the B100 up and we'll just look at what they say about it here. So it's got a powerful 105cc gas-powered engine, easy pull start, sturdy steel frame, oversized low pressure tires for smooth, comfortable ride, rear disc brakes, great for riders up to 150 pounds. Then down here on the specifications, again, it says 105cc air-cooled engine, 8.5 to 1 compression ratio, recoil starter, automatic transmission, chain drive, 1.3 kilowatts at 3,600 RPMs. I'll convert that right now. Max torque, 4.6 Newton meters at 2,500 RPMs. Front suspension, low pressure tires. Rear suspension, low pressure tires, so no suspension. No front brakes. It's got rear disc brakes. There's your tire size, 45/76. That's going to be the same on all of these bikes. Their wheelbase is 35.4. Ground clearance is almost 4 inches. 3.7 gallon fill capacity. Dry weight is 82 pounds. 150 pound max load. 22 mile an hour top speed. That's about all it says. It does come with the V-tread tires. You can see right here. V-tread tires, disc brakes, and the tube used to make this frame is also 7/8 tubing. So a link for this bike will be in the description as well. So I was able to pick up a stock Motovox. Nothing's been done to this. It's the original engine, no stretch, nothing. It's just original. It's a 2012 model. Says so down on the VIN tag, and I was pretty excited to get this. I recorded the whole video. I had it edited. This came up. I snatched it. So we're going to be kind of splicing this bike into the video. I'll try to find some information on it, and I'll just scroll it through while we're talking about this. If I happen to find any, I don't know if I'll find anything. But it's got the same engine in it as the Hover Heart and a few of the other bikes we've looked at. I'm seeing ranging from 89 to 105 cc's on these engines. So call it what you want, I guess. It's got the same size tank as the other ones. What were they? 0.37 gallons. I'd imagine it has the same exact gear ratio, like 6.5 to 1, 6.8 to 1 gear ratio. And I got this fairly cheap, and it runs and rides, but not very well. There's rust in the tank and all that stuff, so this motor won't be staying in here for long. The tubes on this, they are more 7/8 tubes. Our stock wheels are going to be V-treads. No brake in the front, no front suspension, no rear suspension, disc brake in the back, and it uses the exact same caliper as pretty much all the other bikes. It has the slide wheel chain tensioner on this side too, just like all of them except for the Hover Heart. Kill switch, throttle, brakes, it's all there. I don't know why these bikes are so hard to find untouched. You know, everybody stretches them and lowers them and all that stuff, and to be honest with you, we'll probably do the same thing, but to get a blank canvas like this is pretty cool. Here where I'm at, it's a very sought after frame. I don't know, it's pretty cool. I like it. So let's just grab some quick measurements on this, and that'll be it for this one. So what tools are yours are always disappearing? Mine are tape measures, hammers, and screwdrivers. I could have 4 1 minute and none the next. I don't get it, but I'm going to use this round, I guess. And we're getting about 36.5 wheelbase on there. And then the lowest point on the seat here, about 22.5. All right, so obviously I don't have a Motovox here to compare with these bikes, but I've always liked the MM80. I built a lot of them, and I just like them. I think they look good, especially when you put a new paint job on them and everything is clean and fresh looking. They always come out really nice. And Ben's little CT100U, man, we've had this bike pretty well since the beginning, and it came to us black, then it was black and orange, then it was blue and green. And now it's got this color shift paint on it with a stretch. And every couple of years or so, we just give it a facelift, and the bike's been good to us. We like this bike a lot. I worked on my first FRP last year, and I liked it better than the MM80. It's very, very, very similar to the MM80. Pretty much the same, except for these down tubes here are different. Right here and right here. And the FRP just gives you that little extra room that you always seem to need for a carburetor in the MM80 frame. So I'd like that better than the MM80. And then we got that Hover Hearts, and I think I got a new favorite over here. I'm pretty sure that front suspension would bolt right onto this. I'm pretty sure. We'll definitely be trying that out in the future, getting a front suspension put on here and a 212 and all that good stuff. But for now, we're just going to enjoy it the way it is, and hopefully we'll get many years of fun out of this bike. I like the gussets that it comes with here and here. I'd like to see better gussets in the back here, but that's one solid bar, so I don't think that'll ever break, especially being 1-inch tube. I don't think we'll have a problem with the frame. The welds are nice and clean on that Hover Heart. The FRP, all those welds look pretty good. There's a little bit of undercut, but not a big deal. Coleman is notorious for bad welds, just on all their frames. You clean up an older BT200X, and 9 times out of 10 you're going to find some good porosity in those welds. So I'd imagine if we cleaned this up and stripped it down, we'd find the same thing. They weren't worried much about gussets on this at all. Got a little bit up around the neck tube, but nothing that really stands out. The Monster Moto, it looks pretty good. I mean, gussets, you can count, there's a bar behind here. You can kind of count as a gusset for that neck tube area. And then there's just so much going on the back here with, you know, this bar and that one and this one. It all kind of meshes together and supports everything. And this B100, it's a cool looking frame, and I just wish it was just a little bit bigger. We got gusset across the top here. They got gussets here, here, here. You know, a lot of good gusseting going on there. But if you look at the welds up at the head tube here, it's just big old gloppy spot welds. It just doesn't look good enough to me, you know what I mean? And then also you just have to worry about Coleman welds. You know, like I said before, porosity in those Coleman welds is pretty normal. So if we clean the paint off of this, I'd imagine we'd find some porosity in there too. But like I said, I wish I had a Motovox here. I wish I had a little rascal here to put next to these two, but I don't, and I'm probably never going to. Go Power Sports is proud of their stuff, and they just want way too much money for me. And as far as bang for your buck goes, that hover heart, I don't think you can beat it. So if you haven't yet, hit that link down in the description. Go check out our merchandise. We got all kinds of good stuff, hats, shirts, hoodies. Go get you something. And as always, make sure you like, share, comment, and subscribe. It's free for you, and it helps us out. We appreciate you being here, and we'll catch you on the next one.